welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're going to be taking a look at ANANT RAJ Limited.
Okay.
You sent over their financials and presentations.
Yeah.
And it looks like they're making some interesting moves.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to data centers and cloud computing.
Yes. It's really a fascinating transformation.
Yeah.
And they have a long history in real estate, especially in the Delhi area.
Mm-hmm.
But now they're diving headfirst into this digital world.
So for this deep dive,
Right.
we want to understand how this shift is playing out.
Yeah.
What's the story behind their data center business?
Absolutely.
How are they planning to grow?
Mm-hmm.
And most importantly, what does all of this mean for you, the listener?
Okay, well, let's start with the basics.
Okay.
ANANT RAJ Limited just had a record-breaking quarter.
Oh, wow.
Their best ever in terms of both revenue and profits.
Really?
Yes, they saw a 54% jump in revenue compared to last year.
Wow, that's huge.
Yeah, that's huge. And a good chunk of this growth is coming directly from their data center business.
Okay, so their data center business is already making money.
Yeah.
That's exciting. Tell me more about that.
Sure. So their data center in Manesar just went live.
Right.
It has a capacity of 6 megawatts.
Wow.
Think of it like adding a power plant for computers.
Yeah, I see.
And in just this last quarter, it brought in around 8 crores in revenue.
Wow. Okay, so that's just from renting out space for servers, right?
Yeah.
What about their cloud platform, Ashok Cloud?
That's where things get even more interesting.
Okay.
They launched Ashok Cloud in October, and they're already seeing customers sign up.
Wow.
This means they're not just providing space in their data centers.
Right.
They're actually starting to offer cloud services themselves.
Okay, hold on. Can you break that down a little?
Sure.
What exactly does it mean to offer cloud services?
Think of it this way. Instead of just renting out an empty apartment,
Yeah.
they're now furnishing it
Uh-huh.
and offering different levels of service.
Right.
So basic cloud services are like providing the basic furniture, the bed, the table, the chairs. Companies can use these basic building blocks
All right.
to set up their own digital operations.
So instead of companies having to buy and manage their own servers,
Right.
they can just rent space and resources on ANANT RAJ's cloud platform.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's much more efficient and cost-effective for many companies,
Yeah.
especially those who are growing quickly.
Makes sense. And it sounds like ANANT RAJ is planning to go beyond just the basics with their cloud offerings.
Yeah.
What are their long-term plans in this area?
They're aiming to offer more advanced cloud services down the line.
Okay.
Things like providing a complete platform for developing software,
Wow.
or even offering ready-made software applications that businesses can use.
So they're starting with the basic cloud services, but they want to become a one-stop shop for all things cloud.
Precisely.
Okay.
And to do that, they're planning to expand their data center capacity aggressively.
Okay. How aggressively are we talking?
They're aiming for 28 megawatts by the end of this fiscal year.
What?
And a massive 307 megawatts within the next 4 or 5 years.
That's a huge jump.
Yeah.
Are they mainly focusing on just expanding the space they're renting out, or are they also planning to invest heavily in their own cloud platform?
Both.
Okay.
They are planning to convert a significant chunk of their data center capacity into cloud infrastructure,
Okay.
which is where the big revenue potential lies.
Right. This is starting to paint a clear picture.
Yeah.
They're building out these massive data centers, renting out space to businesses.
Right.
And at the same time, they're developing their own cloud platform to offer a full suite of cloud services.
Yeah.
But how are they going to pay for all of this?
Right.
Building out data centers and cloud infrastructure sounds incredibly expensive.
You're right. It's a capital-intensive business.
Yeah.
To fund this ambitious expansion, ANANT RAJ is planning to raise 2,100 crore rupees.
Okay, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
So where's all that money coming from?
They're going to raise 2,000 crore from a qualified institutional placement, which is basically selling shares to big investors,
Right.
and another 100 crore from the company's promoters.
Okay, so they're putting a lot of money on the table.
Yeah.
It sounds like they're really serious about making this transition into a major player in the data center and cloud space.
They are?
But what about their traditional real estate business?
Yeah.
Are they abandoning that completely to focus on this new venture?
Not at all.
Okay.
Their real estate business is still performing well,
Good.
and they're continuing to launch new projects
Okay.
in both residential and commercial spaces.
So they're not putting all their eggs in one basket.
Right.
They're building on their existing strengths
Yeah.
while strategically venturing into this new high-growth area.
Exactly. And they're doing all of this from a position of financial strength.
Oh, it's interesting.
ANANT RAJ is on track to be completely debt-free by the end of December 2024.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah, it gives them a lot of flexibility to invest in their future.
Yeah.
And really go after this data center and cloud opportunity.
Yeah. That's incredibly impressive, becoming debt-free in such a short amount of time while simultaneously making these big investments.
Yeah.
It really shows their commitment and confidence in this new direction.
Right.
Okay, so we've covered their record-breaking quarter, the growth of their data center business,
Yeah.
their plans to expand into cloud services, and their overall financial strength.
Right.
But let's get into the specifics.
Okay.
How profitable is this data center business,
Yeah.
and what kind of revenue are they projecting for their cloud platform?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
And it's where things get really interesting from a financial perspective.
Right.
Let's dive into those numbers right after a quick break.
Okay.
All right.
Sounds good.
Let's do it.
All right. So we just talked about how ANANT Raj's data center business is bringing in some serious revenue.
Yeah.
Let's dig into that a little deeper.
Okay.
What can you tell me about the profitability of this segment?
Sure. So their operating expenses for the data center business are remarkably low.
Okay. Around 18%.
So that means their EBITDA margin for this segment is somewhere around 82%.
Yeah.
That's incredible. For those listening who might not be familiar with these terms, EBITDA basically represents the profit a company makes from its operations
Right.
before taking into account things like interest taxes, depreciation, and amortization. A margin of 82% suggests they're keeping a large portion of their revenue after covering the costs of running the data centers.
Exactly. It indicates a highly profitable operation.
Yeah.
And as they scale up and fully utilize their current 6 megawatts of IT load,
Right.
those revenue numbers are only going to go higher.
Now let's talk about Ashok Cloud, their cloud platform.
Okay.
You mentioned it's already generating revenue.
Yeah.
What kind of numbers are we looking at there?
So their initial rollout of Ashok Cloud is just 0.5 megawatt of capacity.
Okay.
They estimate that this initial phase could bring in around 75 crore rupees in annual revenue
Okay.
once it's fully utilized.
75 crore from just 0.5 megawatt.
Yeah, that seems like a massive jump compared to the revenue they're getting from just renting out space in their data centers.
It is. Cloud services tend to have higher margins because they're offering a much more comprehensive service.
Right.
It's not just about providing space and power.
Right.
They're managing the entire infrastructure, the software, the security. It's a lot more involved.
That makes sense. But building out all this cloud infrastructure must be costing a fortune, right?
Yeah.
They mentioned spending around 50 crore just to get that initial 0.5 megawatt up and running.
Yes, the initial investment in cloud infrastructure is definitely significant.
Yeah.
They're estimating it will cost an additional 100 crore for every megawatt they add to their cloud platform.
Okay, so we're talking about big money here.
Yeah.
But if they hit their projected revenue numbers,
Right.
it sounds like it could be a highly profitable investment.
It could be.
What's their plan for expanding the cloud platform?
Though.
Are they going to convert all of their planned data center capacity into cloud infrastructure?
Not all of it, but they are planning to convert a substantial portion
Okay.
of their planned 63 megawatts of data center capacity into cloud infrastructure.
Okay.
If they can execute this effectively,
Yeah.
it could translate into billions in revenue down the line.
Now I'm starting to see why they're raising all that capital.
Yeah,
They're playing the long game here, betting big on the future of cloud computing.
absolutely. And they're not just aiming to stay at the basic level of cloud services either. Remember we talked about them offering different tiers of cloud services?
Yeah.
Right now, they're mainly focused on infrastructure as a service, or IaaS,
Okay.
which is like providing the basic building blocks of cloud computing, servers, storage, networking.
Right, so it's like providing the raw materials.
Yeah.
And then the customer builds what they need on top of that.
Precisely. But their long-term plan is to move up the value chain.
Okay.
They're looking at platform as a service, or a PaaS, which is like providing a ready-made platform for building and running applications. And eventually, software as a service, or SaaS,
Okay.
where they would offer complete software applications that businesses can use over the internet.
So they're starting with the basics, but their goal is to offer a full suite of cloud solutions from the ground up to fully functional software.
Exactly.
That's a really ambitious plan.
It is.
It sounds more like a tech company than a real estate developer.
It's exactly the point.
Yeah.
They're transforming their business model to tap into the massive growth of the digital world.
Okay, so we've talked about their impressive financial performance in the data center business,
Yeah.
their ambitious plans for expanding their cloud platform, and the potential for huge revenue growth in the coming years. But they're not the only ones trying to get a piece of this pie, are they?
Right.
What about the competition?
You're right. The data center and cloud computing market is incredibly competitive.
Yeah.
With lots of companies vying for market share.
Yeah, I bet.
There are global giants with deep pockets and established infrastructure.
So how does ANANT Raj plan to compete with these giants?
Right.
What advantages do they have in this crowded market? So we were just talking about how competitive the data center and cloud market is right now.
Right.
What are ANANT Raj's biggest advantages in this space? How do they plan to hold their own against some of these global giants?
Well, they do have a few key advantages.
Okay.
First, their strong background in real estate gives them an edge
Okay.
when it comes to securing land and building these massive data center facilities.
Right.
Remember, location is crucial for data centers.
Yeah.
And they already have a solid presence in a prime region like Delhi NCR.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
They're not starting from scratch.
Right.
They can leverage their existing expertise and relationships in the real estate world
Exactly.
to build out these data centers quickly and efficiently.
Yeah. And another advantage is their partnerships.
Oh, okay. Tell me about that.
They've teamed up with some of the leading technology providers in the industry
Okay.
for their cloud platform. This gives them access to cutting-edge technology and expertise without having to build everything from the ground up.
So they're being smart about it. Instead of trying to reinvent the wheel, they're working with established players
Exactly.
to get a leg up.
Yeah.
Are there any other advantages that set them apart?
Well, they're aiming to offer a comprehensive suite of services.
Okay.
From basic co-location to advanced cloud solutions.
Yeah.
This one-stop shop approach can be very appealing to customers.
Right.
Especially larger companies that want to simplify their operations
Makes sense.
and work with a single provider for all their data needs.
Okay, so they have the experience, the technology, the partnerships, and the vision.
Right.
But even with all of that, breaking into a market dominated by global giants can't be easy.
Yeah, you're right.
What are some of the challenges they might face
Yeah.
as they try to scale up their data center and cloud business?
You're right. It won't be a walk in the park. Competition is definitely their biggest hurdle.
Yeah.
These global players have enormous resources, and they're not going to give up market share easily.
So ANANT Raj will have to be really strategic about how they position themselves and target their offerings.
Absolutely. They'll need to be agile, innovative,
Right.
and really focus on what makes them unique in this market. Another challenge is keeping up with the constantly evolving technology.
Oh, yeah, of course.
The cloud computing landscape changes incredibly fast,
Right.
with new innovations and services popping up all the time.
Yeah, it seems like every day there's something new.
ANANT Raj will have to invest heavily in research and development to make sure they're offering the latest and greatest solutions.
So staying ahead of the curve is crucial.
Yeah.
They can't afford to fall behind in this rapidly evolving tech space.
Right.
Are there any other challenges we should be aware of?
Attracting and retaining top talent is going to be critical.
Of course, yeah.
The demand for skilled professionals in data center management and cloud computing is sky high. They'll need to offer competitive salaries and benefits and create a work environment that attracts and retains the best in the field.
Okay, so competition, technology, talent. Those are some significant challenges.
Yeah.
But what about the flip side?
Right.
What are the biggest opportunities that lie ahead for ANANT Raj
Sure.
as they dive deeper into this world of data centers and cloud computing?
The potential for growth in this market is massive.
Really?
India is one of the fastest growing markets in the world for data centers and cloud services.
Oh, wow.
Think about all the factors driving this growth.
Yeah, what are some of those factors?
Increasing internet usage, the rise of e-commerce, the government's push for digitalization.
Right.
The demand for data storage and processing is exploding.
So they're in the right place at the right time with the right kind of services.
Exactly. As a first mover in the Indian cloud market, they have a real chance to capture a significant market share.
Yeah.
Their partnerships, their focus on offering a comprehensive suite of services, and their existing infrastructure all give them a competitive edge.
And it sounds like the Indian government is also supporting this growth.
Yeah.
Didn't they mention some government initiatives aimed at promoting the development of data centers and cloud infrastructure?
Yes. The government is actively encouraging investments in this sector through various policies and incentives.
That's great.
This creates a very favorable environment for companies like ANANT Raj to grow and expand their operations.
So they have a lot of factors working in their favor. A booming market, strong government support, and a solid foundation to build upon. It sounds like they're well positioned for success.
Yeah.
But as you said, the competition is fierce. It'll be fascinating to see how they navigate these challenges and capitalize on these opportunities.
It really is a fascinating story to follow. They're not just building data centers and cloud platforms. They're building the future of India's digital infrastructure.
Wow.
Their journey will have implications for the entire Indian tech ecosystem. If they succeed, it could inspire a wave of innovation and investment in this space, further accelerating India's digital transformation.
So it's a story that goes far beyond just one company's bottom line.
Right.
It's a story about the future of technology and innovation in India.
Precisely. And on a more individual level.
Yeah.
Understanding Anant Raj's story gives us insights into the trends shaping the global data center and cloud market. This knowledge is valuable whether you're an investor, a tech enthusiast, or simply someone who wants to understand the forces shaping our digital world.
That brings us to the end of our deep dive into ANANT RAJ Limited.
Okay.
We've covered a lot of ground today. Their impressive financial performance, their bold move into data centers and cloud services, the challenges they face, the opportunities that lie ahead.
We've seen how a company with a long history in real estate is transforming itself to thrive in the digital age.
Yeah.
It's a testament to their vision, their adaptability, and their commitment to innovation.
Absolutely. Before we sign off, we'd like to leave you with one final thought to ponder.
Okay.
As data centers and cloud computing continue to grow at an incredible pace, how do you think this increasing demand for digital infrastructure will reshape the landscape of India?
It's a good question.
What other industries might be disrupted or transformed by this digital revolution?
It's a question worth exploring further. And with that, we conclude our deep dive into ANANT RAJ Limited. Until next time, keep learning, keep exploring.
Thanks for listening.